I made a giant chocolate box out of cardboard for Valentine's Day, and it was my most viewed video ever. So I'm going to show you guys how you can make it yourself. Take a trip down to your recycling bin and pick out a box that's the length and the width that you want. I won't be doing exact measurements for this tutorial in hopes that people use boxes they already have. Start by cutting off all of the side flaps of the box except for the two long ones on only one side, and then tape that back down. This will be the side that we're making the chocolate pockets on. To start constructing the lid, we're going to take the long flaps that we had cut off from the opposite side, taping them together to make the large part of the lid. Using the short flaps, we'll start to construct our sides. Starting with the long walls, measure, mark, and cut the cardboard so that you can lengthen the wall, and then use a piece of tape to attach it to the long side of your cover. At this point, you can trim down this wall to make sure it's the same width as your cover. To make the two shorter walls, cut one of the short flaps in half, and then using tape, attach both of these walls to either side of the cover. You should notice on the final side that we're coming a little bit short, so to remedy this, just cut out thin strips of cardboard and attach it with tape to give you the extra length. Then you should be ready to attach the fourth wall in the same way you did with the first. When the fourth wall is on, then attach it to the two short sides, making 3 walls connected all the way around. Trim the 3 walls so they're all the same length and leave one side long so that it can be attached to the box later. Use a pen or pencil and trace out the different shapes that you'd like the chocolates to be in. So I did hearts, squares, and circles. To start making the pockets that the chocolate sits in, we're going to cut out these shapes in one piece and then save them. For walls, cut out strips of cardboard that are about 3 to 4 inches in width. With a large piece of tape, start with your shape and tape around the first edge, and then bend your cardboard along the base, taping as you go. Add another piece of tape around each of the open edges, slide it back into your hole, and then secure it in its place. For the rounded edges, I took the cardboard strips and rolled them up so that they would be more flexible. For the chocolate inserts, I did the whole process in reverse. So first I took some walls, bent them, and then stuck them inside of my pocket to measure out how much length I would need. I then shortened it, taped it together, put it back inside the pocket, and marked where I would need to cut it down. This would give me a general shape that I could use to make a stencil on a different piece of cardboard. So I drew out the heart, I cut out the heart, and then I checked it multiple times on top of the pocket to see if it would fit, and made adjustments by cutting down and adding a little bit of cardboard wherever it was necessary. The final step was then to just tape the walls back onto the base of the chocolate piece. And after the whole process is done, it should fit perfectly inside of your pocket. This step isn't necessary, but I used hot glue and went around all the edges in the inside and outside to make sure everything was secure. To make the box more sturdy, I added crumpled up paper between the pockets, and then I shortened the height of the overall box so that it would be flush with the pockets as well. I opted to fold over the edges of the box and tape it down, although I probably could have cut them off and then just taped around the outside. And then I went back with even more tape just to smooth everything out a little bit. For this next part, you just need paper and Mod Podge. I found it was easiest to cut out strips of paper, put the Mod Podge down, put the strips down, and then cover it with Mod Podge again. For the big box, I actually ended up using one large piece of paper, so I put the Mod Podge down, put the piece of paper down, and then broke open little holes in each of the pockets. I then used my hands and the brush to smooth the paper down. I also want to mention I originally did make lids, but they didn't end up working out, so that's why they're not included in this tutorial. I used acrylic to paint this. I picked out a variety of brown colors because I want it to look like a selection of different chocolates. Make sure after you're done painting with acrylic that you let it dry for at least a full day, maybe even more. Otherwise, your parts might end up sticking together. To get the really straight lines, I put down tape and then did my darkest part. This way, when I was done, all I had to do was remove the tape and then just go back and fix some of the little details. I wanted my chocolates to look more realistic, and I felt like adding a little chocolate drizzle would really sell it. The hot glue gun has this gooey texture to it, which I thought was perfect, so I started to make some designs on my metal desk. It's important to use a metal surface so that when you peel it off, it doesn't peel any paint or chip anything that you own. Painting these was definitely a messy process. Just make sure that after you've painted them, put the flat side down when it's drying, so if anything sticks to the back, you don't see it. To attach the chocolate drizzles, I added E6000 glue to the back and then just press it onto the top of the boxes. To cover up some of the unsightly cardboard box lines, I used ribbon. I really encourage you to use stuff that you already have. I feel like every crafter has a box of supplies that's just waiting for its day. Now take the long side of your lid and glue it to the back top of your box. To finish off my design, I just added some text to the front that says I love you to make it seem more like a Valentine's Day chocolate box. Now your box is ready to be filled with candies, stuffed animals, notes, whatever you want to put in it. I found this perfect gold wrapping paper that I thought looked like the wrappings that candies come in sometimes, and it worked as a perfect bottom to keep everything that was inside the chocolates inside. Huge shout out to the Pinata Mom on TikTok. Her work is the original inspiration for this piece, so head over to TikTok and check out her work. It's truly incredible. Thanks for watching, and I hope this makes your Valentine's Day a little sweeter.